they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it. That's what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay.
Are we going to get an evaluation on the prosecutor? I think we're going to put an I think we're going to file a motion in Mostafa's case to put a health evaluation on the prosecutor. I mean, the stuff that she's saying in court sounds crazy.
Crazy.
You should see the motion that she filed after the Brady motion got filed. And it's not about Mostafa anymore. It's about the brother of Mostafa. I mean, that is funny.
It's all about you.
And I think Mostafa's defense attorney should file a motion to have the prosecutor Sarah Sammy, mentally evaluated, to be honest with you. I mean, we'll get into what she's telling the court about the brother of Mostafa.
I think the last one is going to be the video.
Yeah, we'll play it at the end.
All right.
This is not another boring podcast. Mostafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer under the microscope. Now, we're not going to jump to the conclusion that Judge Carol Weimer is impartial in the Mostafa Alghzouari case. What we're going to do, we're going to let the community decide if Judge Carol Weimer is impartial. If he's protecting the police department that falsified the Mostafa Alghzouari case. If he's protecting the prosecutor who's using police officer that's falsifying the Mostafa Alghzouari case. I'm not going to jump to that conclusion. I'm going to let the community decide. I have a sealed file, and I'm leaking it on the internet. Body cams and document that show that this case is falsified. That the Mostafa Alghzouari case, officers falsified his statements. The police department crushed and staged Mostafa's car. The children, a 9, a 10, a 14, with the knowledge of Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, and a 16-year-old, with the knowledge of Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, were weaponized against Mostafa. The prosecutor knows. I have evidence that show that she's been notified every step of the way. What else? Vehicle crushed and staged, children weaponized, statement falsified, a dash camera that's cut and muted. I mean, what's left in this case? The details that are coming out of this case is that Mostafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident.
Let's start
Now,
with
the real question is Mostafa entitled to due process?
That's a very good question.
That's a really good question. Out of Prince William County.
So far, it doesn't look like it.
So far, it doesn't look like it. Now, I want to thank Muhammad for being here. Muhammad, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Mostafa is in a county jail for over 2.5 years. Now, Mostafa never waived his speedy trial, but he's been sitting in a county jail for 2.5 years without a trial. That's interesting.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And now, regardless of what you feel about the Mostafa Alghzouari case, I think we can all agree that when you're charging Mostafa with murder, Mostafa should be able to defend himself. But if you're going to put Mostafa in jail, deny him bond, and now you put a seal on his case, and now he's in a position where he can't look at his body cams, he can't look at his documents, and he can't defend himself. I think that's a violation of his due process. I think we can all agree, regardless of how you feel about the Mostafa Alghzouari case, I think we can all agree that Mostafa should be able to defend himself. He should be able to review the material in his case. What's going on here is He's not able to watch the body cams in his case.
I mean, they have him in solitary confinement for 2.5 years. Solitary.
They put a seal on his case. Now, the protective order is not sealing the material from him. You're charging him with a crime.
He's entitled to those documents as the first person to be entitled to it is him. He's the one being accused.
But they'll tell you, we're not sealing this case from Mostafa. We're not. The county tells you we're not.
I mean, in America, if you are accused of a crime, you're entitled to know what you're being accused of. And if there are witnesses in this crime, this alleged crime, you're entitled to know what the witnesses are saying. And in this case, Mostafa has been left in the dark for 2.5 years.
I mean, he's kept completely out of the loop. And
completely in the
how
dark.
could he defend himself and prepare for his trial if he's kept out of the whole entire loop? I mean, you talk to Brad Haywood, Mustafa's defense attorney, Mustafa's current defense attorney. He tells Mustafa, you have to trust me. It's not about trust. It's not about trust. Mustafa has to be able to prepare for his trial.
I mean, look, how many lawyers has he had so far?
Casey Stephen, a number of public defender that were kicked off the case because they never saw Mustafa, and Blake Weiner, who Mustafa was scheduled to trial back in December. And he told Blake, I need my vehicle reconstructed. I mean, the most basic thing you can ask in this case. My vehicle reconstructed and an extraction of the dash camera off the SD card that the police department has.
And that the police admit they tampered with.
The police admit that they tampered with. I mean, when you look at this dash camera, you have a dash camera that has no audio and is cut before impact. And there are 17 frames missing from inside the vehicle. And now you have Officer Chad Mason admitted to tampering with the dash camera. Now,
Mustafa doesn't even know what the alleged witnesses are saying in this case. He's not entitled to look at any body cam. He's not entitled to get any witness statements. He's not allowed to know what if you ask Mustafa today, 2.5 years later, what are you being charged with? He'll tell you, I don't know. I mean, I'm not in jail. I don't even know what he's being charged with. I don't know what the prosecutor's narrative is.
The prosecutor keeps changing.
She keeps changing her narrative. Okay, when he went up for bond back in August of 2023, this prosecutor told a judge that she had a witness that said Mustafa had crashed his car previous to this incident and gave him traumatic brain injury. She's talking about Jason Nance.
Well, now we know that's not true because Jason Nance comes out and he says, I never said that to the police.
I never said that to the police. I never said I was in the car with Mustafa and he crashed his car. I never said that. But if you really think about it, on August of 2023, the judge says, I am not giving you bond because of the Jason Nance allegations.
Based on Jason Nance.
Mustafa
is denied bond.
And who made that lie in court? Sarah Sammy proffered to the judge that if Mustafa is released, that Mustafa has done this in the past where he used his vehicle as a weapon. That's what she tells the judge. And the judge says, well, I'm not comfortable releasing him anymore. I mean, he was going to release him, but he says specifically because of this incident that
she proffered. Proffer is when she lied. Proffer is when she just throws in this evidence.
She flat out lied. And held Mustafa in jail because of her lies. Okay? And Jason Nance comes out today on video, on the record, and says, I never said that to Robert Drum. So Robert Drum not only falsified Mustafa's statements, but he falsified Jason Nance's statement. And the
real question is, where's the body cam when investigator Robert Drum, that's the same investigator that falsified Mustafa's statement. Where's the body cam when he talked to Jason Nance? It's not there.
Okay, so Sarah Sammy also lies about me purchasing a rifle and 1,000 rounds. And we find out in a motion that Robert Drum tells the prosecutor he got a text message from a state trooper who allegedly told him that I purchased a AR rifle from Manassas, Virginia, and 1,000 rounds. He said in her statement of fact, she says that she got that information from Robert Drum, who Robert Drum says he got a text message from a state trooper. But she retracted that statement since. Now, if Robert Drum is going to falsify a state trooper's text message, I'd like to see the text message.
That's what Brad Hayward, Mustafa's current defense attorney, brought up in a Brady motion. He said this prosecutor demonstrate animosity against Mustafa, against the family, and bias. And if by law, if she has animosity as a prosecutor, by law, she cannot be on the case. Automatically, she has to be kicked off the case.
She should have been kicked out a long time ago, to be honest with you.
Now, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy says, I retracted my motion against Muhammad, the brother, who bought an AR-15 with 1,000 round. And then Brad Hayward says, Your Honor, he tells Judge Carol Weimer, I'm satisfied with her retracting the motion. Wait a minute now. Mustafa's defense attorney, is he aware that this prosecutor made allegations that the family is manufacturing bombs in the jail parking lot? Wait a minute. So that's one. Is Brad Hayward aware that Prosecutor Sarah Sammy make an allegation that we're setting the building on fire, the courthouse building on fire? Is Brad Hayward aware that the prosecutor made allegation that the mother of Mostafa Alghzouari assaulted her in the hallway of the court, feet away from the judge's chambers? Wait a minute. So you're throwing all these allegations against the family, by the way, with no evidence.
With no evidence.
Does that not show animosity?
But Brad Hayward has personal hate.
Here's the problem I have. I mean, you have to be honest in what's going on in this case. I mean, Brad Hayward in a motion, in a Brady motion, he said, I'm satisfied with prosecutor Sarah Sammy retracting her statement about the AR-15. What about the other statement that she's made on the record?
Let me ask you this.
Forget that. Within 10 minutes, she turns around and she tells the judge, during a Brady motion, after she got done telling him I retracted my motion, she said, Your Honor, the family is threatening me on TikTok. You're throwing these accusations with no evidence, which shows animosity. How is Brad Hayward satisfied with this prosecutor that she has no animosity? How does that make any sense?
It doesn't make sense. And not only that, but she, in that Brady motion, she flat out lied to the judge. When the judge asked her, he said, it would be a problem if the children were coached prior to their forensic interview. And she stands up and tells the judge, she says, Your Honor, the only person that spoke to the children is the CAC, the Children Advocacy Center. Okay?
During a forensic interview. And we have those videos.
We know for a fact. By the way, Stephanie Buck is with her. Jason O'Sullivan is with her. The other guy's name, Mallet, the other prosecutor, he's with her. Now, you have a document today. Right now, you have a document that shows Sarah Sammy, Jason O'Sullivan, and Mallet met with a child. So, according to Sarah Sammy, only the CAC spoke to the children. Okay? Yeah, we have a document here. Let me pull it up on the screen. Okay? We have a document that says that Sarah Sammy and her fellow prosecutors, Jason O'Sullivan and Mallet, specifically met with the child.
Can I read this for you?
Please.
All right. So, entered on March 18, 2024, 1:31
And I'll remind everybody, this document is sealed. So when she tells the judge, when she says, Your Honor, no one met with the children other than the CAC, the Children Advocacy Center, which are psychiatrists who are trained to deal with minors. Okay? Now, this is sealed. Was sealed, supposed to be sealed. So, once again, when she proffers, when she lies in court, usually you can't check her in real time. Okay? But this time we can. Thanks to you stealing the file and unsealing it, now we can check her in real time. She told Judge Weimer.
On the record.
On the record.
During a Brady motion.
I mean,
she's telling him that the only time the children were spoken to is in a forensic interview. But here I have a document